coming today. Calling the meeting to order. It is 7 o'clock. We have Vice Chair Mao online. We have our Secretary Darlene here, our Sergeant at Arms Earl, and Board Member Ige and Board Member Oswega. So we'll just start with the monthly reports. I see Honolulu Fire Department. Thank you for being here today.
Sorry.
In
Aloha Kako.
today.
Yep, right here.
Amazing.
Hello.
Hello, I'm firefighter Colin Navarez. Just giving the report for the month. The statistics provided below represent the confirmed number of incidents in the neighborhood board's geographical area for this past month of June. Just as you know, should you have any questions, please email the Honolulu Fire Department's Community Relations Office at hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. So for June 2024, there were 0 fires of any kind, structure, wildland, nuisance, cooking, activated alarms, 0. Emergencies, there were 35 medical emergencies, nothing in the way of motor vehicle collisions, 2 mountain rescues, and then 1 hazardous materials incident. Yep. And then as far as fire safety tips and announcements, we just want to make sure that everybody's safe this summer. With the heat, you know, it's pretty hot and sweltering even here in Hawaii and across the United States. Hawaii has some of the highest average annual relative humidity in the country. When it's too humid, our bodies have a harder time cooling down, which can lead to heat-related illnesses. In the past decade in Hawaii, the average number of hot and humid days and very warm nights have more than doubled due to climate change and are expected to increase. Visit resilientoahu.org/subscribe to sign up for updates on heat in Hawaii this summer. Make sure you are prepared for the heat. Keep cool with fans or AC, spaces in the shade, wear lightweight, loose clothing, drink plenty of water, stay out of the sun, wear a hat outdoors or take an umbrella. Check on your neighbors that are possible high risk for heat-related illnesses. And to find more resources about heat illness, extreme heat, or how to prepare, visit www.heat.gov. Any questions and anything that we can't answer here will be relayed to the Public Information Officer, and the questions will then be answered in the next neighborhood board.
Thank you, Mr. Varez. Any questions from board members?
Okay.
Board members?
I haven't been on the Diamond Head lookout, you know, where they say they get a lot of people that you guys had to rescue.
Mhm.
Okay. I haven't been there for almost maybe 15, 20 years. Now, is that the same way where you get the walkway all the way up, and then you get the 100 stairs to go up?
Mhm.
Where are the old guys getting stuck about?
I would say right when they get there. I don't know. We responded to an emergency out of our area a few months ago, and yeah, it was right kind of at that spiral staircase, especially on these hot days like this. I think people underestimate the heat.
So it's gonna be before the 100 stairs, the 100 stairs, you know, before you go up and then you go up to the top. So why don't you guys get, city gets coming, how come they don't have one, golf cart or something up there?
Oh,
You know, so you can just take the guys down without wasting our time with the fire department, gotta go up there, you know?
right. Yeah, no, I can relay that that great idea.
Because the same thing to worry about you guys too, you know, you guys making a rescue every time up here, I can hear a helicopter going up here.
Right.
And they're not listening, you know what I mean? So I told them, you guys gotta make the fine high.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, they put in reason to you guys, you know, you guys' life. You know,
Yes.
sure, we like save everybody, but they're not listening, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yep.
So,
Thank you.
I know a lot of the firemen, so, you know,
Yeah, thank you for your concern.
okay?
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Board Member Shiraki. Any other questions from board members? Questions from community members? Okay,
All right.
Thank you, Mr.
Mahalo,
Varez.
guys. You guys stay safe this summer. Aloha.
you too. Thank
Anyway,
you.
Keep up the good work now, okay?
Okay, moving on. Do we have a representative from the Honolulu Police Department?
Hi, good evening, Lieutenant Muir from District 7, East Honolulu.
Hi, Lieutenant. Go ahead.
Evening. Okay, we're gonna start off with the statistics. So motor vehicle thefts, we have 7, burglaries 2, thefts 11, and unauthorized entry into motor vehicles at 2. Total cost for service at 6,001. Going into the tips, we're gonna pull off the FEMA website. It's pretty much creating your family emergency communication plan. Creating your family emergency communication plan starts with one simple question, and that's what if? What if something happens and I'm not with my family? So the 3 things is to create a paper copy of the contact information for your family and other important people, offices such as medical facilities, doctors, schools, or service providers. And number 2, share. Make sure everyone carries a copy in his or her backpack, purse, or wallet. You should also prepare a copy in a central location in your home, such as a refrigerator or family bulletin board. 3 is practice. To make sure you have a regular household meetings and review to practice your plan. And basically, text is best. If you are using a mobile phone, a text message may get through when a phone call will not. So basically, again, this is just making sure we have a communication for your family and loved ones in case of an emergency. With that, I can take any questions if there are any.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Questions from board members? Okay, Member Shiraki.
Lieutenant,
Evening.
Gracie. There's a lot of cars that have loud mufflers. You guys not doing them, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's a lot of mopeds that is loud, and a lot of them is going so fast in the mall. In the mall like that. I don't know. Look like nobody doing anything, man.
The mall, which you said the mall? Which mall are you
No,
referring to?
mall. I'm talking about the Scala Mall. In the parking lot like that. No,
Okay.
sorry. Just speeding inside there. You know what I mean? And then they get some mopeds with a loud muffler in between the second floor, and just gun the engine. We gotta start citing guys with a loud muffler. Okay.
Okay. We can enforce on public property if it's within the mall. That's a little bit difficult for us to enforce things like that because it's private property. But for sure, we can address anything like on the regular streets and highways.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Any other questions from board members? Any questions for the police department from the community? Thank you, Lieutenant Mura.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to the monthly report for the Board of Water Supply. Dominic, I think I saw you online.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Awesome. Let's see. Looking back, last month we had 1 main break. This was fronting 2449 10th Avenue. So the 8-inch main was repaired. Currently, we have the ongoing construction project up on Wild Mall Homestead Road. I wasn't able to get a current status update. Last month, they were at about 30% complete. So I'm assuming they're still around there a little more. Just a quick general announcement. The Board of Water Supply has its annual Unthirsty plant sale coming up at our Halava Xeriscape Garden. This is Saturday, August 3rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The garden is in the Halava Valley Industrial Park area. There's going to be a lot of vendors with drought tolerant and xeriscape type plants, workshops on unthirsty plant care and water conservation. There's going to be free soil conditioning, rain barrel catchment, informational booths. And there's more information on our website, boardofwatersupply.com. But at this point, I'd be happy to take any questions on behalf of the Board of Water.
Thank you, Dominic. Questions from board members? Okay, Member Shiraki.
Dominic,
Yes,
you hear me? You
I
know
hear
the
you.
one, the one there on 10th Avenue, the one right next to the manhole. That will cause us to bump up and down. Now it's fixed now, so I gotta thank you for that, man.
Yeah.
You know which one that is, the first one?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
told you
yeah.
about. So they did a pretty good job where, you know, when you're going up 10th Avenue, you're not bumping right up, you know. So thank you for that. And another thing that, thank you, you guys for the radio. Okay. So anyway, back up you guys, boss. Okay.
Yep, we will.
You're doing a good job.
Thanks, Earl.
Thank you, Member Shiraki. Any other questions from board members? Questions from community members? Okay, thank you, Dominic.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 3, resident or community concerns. Is there anyone from the community who would like to express any concerns or share any updates to the board? No? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 4, report from the permitted interaction group. So we currently have 1, Trees for Palolo, planting trees, growing communities. Does anyone? Hi, Randy. Thanks for joining us. Oh. Does anyone from the group want to provide an update? So I can share that we have had 2 meetings so far. Again, the Trees for Palolo group was started because Trees for Honolulu secured $50,000 to increase Palolo's tree canopy. So we've conducted 2 meetings so far, one in the month of May and one in the month of June. We've engaged with about 15 members from the community to just gather some preliminary ideas for how to use this funds. And, you know, our plan is to hold monthly meetings so that we can set priorities for this funding, really to identify planting sites and provide learning opportunities. And we want to engage with as many Palolo residents and organizations as possible. So before I turn it over to Dan Donnell, who is the president at Trees for Honolulu's Future, does anyone else in the group want to share anything with the other board members or the community on this project? Okay, if not, then I will turn it over to Dan, who can share a little bit more and some specific information about our upcoming meeting for July.
Thank you very much, Chair. I should have paid the Honolulu Fire Department firefighter for what he said, because heat is the #1 weather-related killer in the United States. People always get excited about tsunami, hurricane, other kind of disasters, but heat is the #1 killer. So I really appreciate the fire department setting the stage. And what is nature's air conditioner? Trees. Trees really help to cool communities. So we're really excited to be working in the Palolo area, and we really want community members to come out. We have a meeting at the Palolo Homes Ohana Learning Center on Monday, July 22nd, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And it's a great opportunity for residents, business owners, just anybody, educators, to come out and just share ideas, because what's really critical here is that it's what the community wants, not what Dan wants, not what anybody single person wants, but the community. And I also would be remiss not to thank the board, because the board in December passed a very important resolution supporting our grant application, and really want to enlist all of you neighborhood board members. Talk with your neighbors, take some flyers, give them to them and say, hey, come on out. And if they can't make it out, just shoot an email to that email address, and that can stay informed about things that are happening in the community. So I really need the help of the board members anybody online and those present here. The posters, we have posters going up in the district park and in other key locations throughout the valley. But I also wanted to say we're going to be posting this online. So if you want to follow Trees for Honolulu's Future, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. You can gloss over, find a 12-year-old to help you with the social media. But if you do, it's another way, it's another vector of getting the word out to people who, you know, it's just a easy way. So let me know if you've got a big following, if there's Palolo neighborhood groups and so forth. We can get the word out on social media as well. So in short, we just want to hear from the community. The permitted interaction group's off to a great start. And I'm very optimistic that this meeting on the 22nd will lead to really getting what is the vision and then what will we do. So thank you. Happy to answer any questions, take suggestions or anything else.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. So this is the flyer that Dan was referring to. So if you have any organizations or networks that you think, you know, could benefit from having these, then please feel free to take some here. Unfortunately, you know, our permitted interaction group due to sunshine law is restricted to less than a quorum amount of members. So I'll just take this opportunity now to solicit any input or feedback from board members who are not a part of the group. So if you have any ideas on how this funding can be utilized to strengthen community resilience, you know, now would be the time to share them. And probably in future meetings, we should just have a standing agenda item to change the composition of the permitted interaction group in case anyone wants to join. But if no feedback from the members, I will take any feedback or input from community members who are present. Yep, Member Shiraki, please.
Are you saying right now that in Palolo Valley, we don't have enough trees in our valley?
It depends where you are in the valley, to be quite honest. Like Mauka, you got very good tree canopy cover, but when you kind of head towards Waialae Avenue, the tree cover is very, very low compared to the rest of Honolulu. So it really depends where you are in the valley. And one of the big premises is it's not about planting trees everywhere. It's about planting the right tree in the right place with the right care. So I think that's a really important part of the effort as well. So it really, there's no simple answer.
Well, I'm against guy, my neighbor, growing trees, you know what I mean? Because you get fire, you're gonna get burned, you know what I mean? That's, a lot of houses get burned because the neighbors. So I don't want my neighbor to grow all the trees around, you know, I let them cut them down, you know. The house is more important, you know what I mean? Instead of just getting cool air, you know, that's what I believe.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more when it's particularly if it's dried out, then there is fire danger. It's interesting in Hawaii, the primary cause of like forest fires and so forth is invasive grasses. It's not the trees that burn, it's those it's the grasses. So absolutely, to mitigate fire, you need good maintenance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Member Shiraki. Yep.
I just wanted to make two comments, and if you would just consider these two areas. One is the Palolo District Park, where the Palolo Recreation Center and all of the tennis courts and the basketball court. I think way back when Ann Kobayashi first started as our council member, we had effort to want to plant trees there, but the problem was the caretaking after. Like, how would we water it and how would we take care of it and all of that? So that was one issue. Another issue that I think I heard of people wanting to plant trees was to mitigate the boulder falling on this side of the mountain. And I think some of the issues there with that tree planting idea was how we were going to But can you help me by recalling who was the real estate man that
Peter Savio.
Peter Savio? If you could please enlist his participation, I think it would be a great resource for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yeah, just to underscore that the care is super important. And play courts can get very, very hot. And we've got an initiative in the IA area with Makalapa Neighborhood Park, and the community is taking care of the park with the permission of the Parks and Rec. So there are ways to get it done. Absolutely. And great suggestion too on Peter Savio actually loves forests. So I don't know him personally, but we can reach out.
Yeah, just publicly for the record, we'll reiterate that when the boulders fell and the question was asked why he bought all that land, he said originally it was to regenerate the native forests, but due to COVID, he was unable to fulfill that. So we can go back on what he had originally said and see if he's willing to support these initiatives. But thank you, Board Member Nakayama. Those are great suggestions. Board Member Hack, I see you have your hand up online.
Yes, thank you. How is the tree at the Palolo Triangle doing?
Yeah, you might have heard me suck in the air. It's you're talking about the one that has "Welcome to Palolo" sign.
Right,
Yeah, it suffers from some invasive pests, so the city's on it, doing their best to try and care for it. But the one by McDonald's, of course, had to be removed because it became a safety hazard.
the new one, the new.
Yeah, the new tree is doing great. And, you know, it's all about the placement of the tree. It's got irrigation and the type of tree that was selected. It's called an Ali'i banyan, different than the Chinese banyan that had to be removed because it has different resistance to the pests. So the city, I cannot say enough, the professionals at the Division of Urban Forestry, and they're a key partner in what we're doing here in Palolo, because the city, of course, controls so much of the land that the parks along streets and other parcels. So excellent point. Fingers crossed on the other Chinese banyan there on the welcome sign. It seems to be doing well. But yeah,
Thank you.
primary thing is keep them healthy.
Thank you, Board Member Hack, for the question. And just for the board members and community members who may not necessarily love trees, we are really trying to utilize this opportunity to kind of leverage and identify other solutions for our community. So as Board Member Nakayama shared, you know, some of the boulder issues, recreational spaces, and I think most importantly, education. So we're trying to use this as an opportunity to educate community members on invasive species and protecting our natural resources in general. Any other questions or feedback, input from board members or community members? Okay. Seeing none,
Sorry,
we are gonna.
I have a presentation for the bus routes before if it goes on to the next agenda item. I think I was supposed to be in the community part and I missed that.
Yeah, thank you,
introduction.
Eric. You were supposed to identify yourself during that agenda item,
Oh, okay.
but we are done with agenda item number 4, and without objections from the board, we will circle back to the resident or community concerns, and you can provide your presentation on the bus route modifications.
Okay, thank you. And I'm gonna share my screen here. All right. Are you able to see the presentation?
No.
Oh.
Okay, I'll let you figure that out with Anson, but we're gonna move on to agenda item number 5, the approval of regular meeting written summary for video recording. This is for our May meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Chair Peros, I'd like to move for approval of the minutes of the May 8th, 2024 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Mao, for making the motion, and it was seconded by both board member Shiraki and Nakayama. So the motion has been moved and seconded. Without objection, we will approve the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eric, so we're gonna proceed until we're able to share your screen.
Okay.
Okay. So moving on to board business agenda item 5B, filling of vacancies. So we have 1 in subdistrict 1, 2 in subdistrict 3, and 1 in subdistrict 4. Do we have? Okay, so are there any residents interested in filling a vacant board seat? Yes, okay, thank you. Here, please identify yourself here at the mic for the board.
Hello, thank you for having me. My name is Kaleolani Leo, and I'm interested in filling vacancy for Subdistrict 4.
Okay, great. Okay, so Anson, I'll need your assistance on this, but procedurally, we just accept.
Actually, she's supposed to show me.
Hello?
Okay, so for the procedures, for filling in vacancies, she was supposed to show me her ID first so I can verify she can be part of sub-district 2, she? No,
4.
Yeah.
4.
But first, she'll explain why she wants to be part of the board. And then after that, you guys one person just needs to nominate her. And then I'll just do a roll call vote. And all you have to do is I call your name and then you just say her last name.
Yep. Okay, so I believe Kaleolani did verify
Oh.
with Logan prior to this meeting, but I'll take a
Oh,
short
no,
recess.
did he say that it's okay?
I'll take a short recess
Okay.
so we can verify, but if you want to maybe just show the email or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll take a short recess and then we'll adjourn when we verify the address. Sorry, my phone. No, Kaleolani. Deal with the line. Pero I don't. Eric, are you able to share?
It's not connecting. So did you guys have the PowerPoint that I sent in with the it
Yeah,
was
as we're doing this other agenda item, I'll have Anson put up because it should be
Okay.
in the share drive. the
Okay,
Google Drive.
thank you.
It's verified. Not gonna go back to that.
Okay.
So I'll introduce, whatever motivated me to join the board. Someone will nominate you. We'll close the nominations and then we'll just pick up. Okay, calling back to order the Palolo Neighborhood Board meeting. So we were able to verify Leolani Leo's address. So she does qualify for sub-district number 4, and at this time, I will allow her to introduce herself to the board.
Hi, I'm Kaleo Leo, and I was born and raised on 9th Ave. And I returned after traveling some, returned home and started a family and really laid my roots even deeper in our neighborhood. And I would just like to be of service to our community. I also have a nonprofit that encourages our neighbors to grow our own food and share the fruits of the harvest, our harvest with one another. Yeah, and I would just like to be of service to our community.
Any questions from board members for Leo? Yeah. We can have discussion or we can move in.
Question.
Okay, so the nomination was moved by board member Nakayama. Thank you.
Second.
Seconded by board member Shiraki. So I will just turn to our neighborhood assistant to take the roll call vote.
Okay. When I call your name, please say Kaleo. Is that your name?
Kaleo.
Kaleo. And yeah. Okay. Ranel.
Kaleo.
Randall. Randolph.
Uh, uh, Kaleo,
Okay. Ige. Juanita.
Kaleo.
Okay. Beverly.
Kaleo,
Okay. Nakayama. Pearl.
Kaleo.
And Colin.
Hello.
Okay, that's 8, and she's part of the board.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you.
On the side, is it okay? Can I do the oath with her?
Yeah. Do we need a recess for that?
Um,
Yeah, you should be here when we're having the meeting. That's why. So we'll recess for Kaleo to take the oath of office,
That'll be real
I
quick.
think.
please repeat this. Okay. I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will faithfully support the Constitution and the law of the United States of America,
that I will faithfully support the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution of and laws of the state of Hawaii,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Hawaii,
the Charter and laws of the city and county of Honolulu,
the Charter and laws of the city and county of Honolulu,
and the provisions of the neighborhood plan.
and the provisions of the neighborhood plan.
I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my duties
I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my duties
to the best of my ability as a member of the neighborhood plan to which I have been elected.
to the best of my ability as a member of the neighborhood board to which I have been elected.
Okay. All you need to do is just sign this, and now she's part of the board and she can vote.
Okay, calling the meeting back to order. So before we move on, any other community members interested in filling a vacancy? We have 1 in Subdistrict 1 and 2 in Subdistrict 3. Okay. Okay, seeing none, I will go back to, I'm sorry, agenda item number 3 for resident and community concerns. And at this time, we will allow the Department of Transportation Services to provide a short update on bus route modifications.
Thank you. My name's Eric Grover. I'm with the Department of Transportation Services, and I'm going to be going over the bus service changes effective Sunday, August 18th, 2024. And Anson, whenever you're ready. Thank you. All right, so we can go to the next slide where we have this is the current routing of the 9S within Palolo Valley, and the Route 20 will be also having a change coming up. So this is the current situation here, and on the next slide, we have the modification. So the Route 9S will be changing to the Route 200. It will be extended out of Palolo Valley onto Wailea Ave, and it will go down to past Kaimuki High School on Kaimuki Avenue. It'll go down 6th Avenue to Alohea Ave, and then it'll be going near KCC before it goes down Diamond Head Road and Montserrat, and it'll do the loop around Kapiolani Park. And yeah, we can skip to the next slide now. And so the 9S will become the 200, Route 200, and Route 20 will be shortened slightly, so it's not going to go completely around Kapiolani Park anymore. It'll turn around the zoo and kind of do a shorter loop. And we can go to the next one. So the Route 200, like I said, is absorbing the Kapiolani Park loop segment of Route 20. And as I went over, there's the new service areas. And so we can go to the next slide. And the span of service is going to be 5:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. and the frequency will be 30 minutes. And yeah, we can go all the way to the end. And if there's any questions, I can take that at this time. So yeah, that was all. Just a short little update. Route 9S is getting expanded and connecting down into Waikiki. So if anyone has any questions, I can take them now.
Thank you, Eric, for the update. We have a question from Board Member Nakayama.
Sure.
Thank you for that presentation. I have a question.
Yes.
Ability to reevaluate the bus stoppage or rest area in front of the recreation center. I mean, it's so inconvenient for us that live up here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When the bus
It
stops down there, is there a more strategic stop area?
There is definitely. Now the terminus will be on near Kapiolani Park on Paki Avenue.
Oh, Paki.
And looking at your route, just one more question.
Sure.
What time is the earliest that it passes Palolo Chinese Home, and what is the last pickup time? Can you be in that detail, or should I just talk to you offline?
Yeah, you can send me.
Okay, I'll
yeah,
talk to you offline. Thank
or
you.
you can call my office number. I can put them in the chat, and we're still finalizing the scheduling. But yeah, we'll have that detail for you shortly.
Can I just put in a word for us?
Sure.
Our morning nurses start at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Uh-huh.
So it'd really be strategic for us if they could be picked up along, what do you call, Waialae Avenue
Waialae,
to
yeah.
come up to be at Palolo by 6 a.m. And our shift ends at 10:30. So if there's any possibility that the last bus leaving Palolo Chinese Home is around 10:30, because right now it kind of works really well. The timing of how you map out the stops. So thank you. I'll call you offline. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Nakayama. Any other questions from board members?
I had a question for Eric.
Yes.
Yes.
Eric, I know prior you talked about 30-minute intervals. Wasn't it about an hour before? So have we shortened that period of time? Or do we have more buses? Or
It'll
how
be
is
it'll be
it
the
that it's
same.
happening sooner? What is that?
It'll be the same. It's the 30-minute headway, and it's unchanged. Within the valley, it's exactly the same. We're adding an extra bus, so there will be, because it's an extended area, it'll keep everything the same.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from board members? Hi, Pua.
Hi, aloha. This is Pua from Councilmember Say's office. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hi, Eric. This is Pua. I wanted to ask a question. I have some other constituents in other districts that are being affected by the changes of the bus schedule. So we're wondering, are these changes completely set in stone already, or is it just a matter of it being executed? Because I have some constituents wanting to know why the buses changed their routes, and is it because of like lack of ridership, or if it's because you guys didn't find it is it based upon like just restructuring the routes? I just wanted to see, and could I give them your contact information, the constituents that I have, in order to let them find out information?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Send them my contact info, and we can get answers to any questions. We would just need to know the specific routes, and then we could give them the reasoning why we're modifying them.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I appreciate your presentation too, so I'll definitely send them your way. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Pua. Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay, so we are going to move back to board business, agenda item 5C. So we are at our election of officers. So you would be serving from this July to June of 2025. So we need a chair, at least one vice chair, a secretary, a treasurer, and then any other officers the board determines it needs to conduct its business, such as sergeant at arms. So I will entertain discussion before we open any nominations to these officer positions.
For chairman. Right, you can put chairman, right?
Yeah, procedurally, does it need to be chair
No.
first?
I nominate Kali.
Wait a minute. There's discussion first. I do think we need a sergeant at arms, and we need to have that just in case. You never know. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Hack.
Chair, I have a question. Can you give the description of what those roles will be?
Yeah, so I can share my understanding, and I know we have board members who have served for decades, so please you can add to it if I miss anything. But for The chair, the main responsibility is, of course, conducting the monthly meetings, and it is also generating the agenda for those meetings. That, I think, is the essential for the chair. Conducting the meeting would include preparing the space. So typically I'll come here in about an hour before the meeting just to help set up. And those are the primary duties of the chair. The vice chair, who currently is board member Mao, really is there to support the chair and help with the general operations of the board. So I would not be able to conduct business in the way that I do without Vice Chair Mao, who has been super helpful throughout the process. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you. And in the chair's absence, normally the vice chair would run the meeting.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. So the vice chair would be second in line and would be running the meetings in the absence of the chair. And I believe in the absence of both the chair and the vice chair, that responsibility would go to our secretary, who is currently served by board member Nakayama. And the primary role of the secretary is to draft our meeting summary that we approved earlier today, which was basically just the kind of the minutes for our meetings. I think next in line, if all of those officers are absent, that responsibility of conducting the meetings would go to the treasurer, who is currently board member Hack. And the treasurer will help us really manage the finances for our board. We have a small, but we do have a budget, and the treasurer helps to ensure that we are doing that, spending that efficiently. And then the other officers that are determined by the board, such as the sergeant at arms. So board member Shiraki currently serves as our sergeant at arms, and Earl will also come to our meetings early to help set up the space. As board member Hack mentioned, they're kind of there for those emergency situations when we may need someone to help facilitate controlled discussions. From the board members who are currently serving in these roles or have served in these roles on this board or others, is there any other responsibilities that you would like to add to that? Yeah, board member Nakayama.
To the chair position, I just wanted to add the additional job responsibility of coordinating the speakers that attend our presentations. And I also think it's really important for the board chair to be able to help us write those resolutions and to really interact and gain support from the community. So it's the face of all of us, and you should be available if there's any press or anything that is critical to the valley, that you also represent us during those times too. So if I may add those.
Thank you, board member Nakayama. Yes, those are important.
Okay, waiting for nomination.
Okay.
Wait, this is an important part. The chair prepares the agendas for the meeting. That can be a very, especially for, I know it can go fast, but not always, because decisions have to be made regarding speakers, et cetera, that board member Nakayama spoke about.
Yes, thank you, board member Hack.
I nominate Palolo, okay, for chairman, chairwoman.
Who?
You nominated Ronell.
Chair Peros, I'd like to nominate Ranel Asuega for.
I second that motion, Beverly.
Okay, so the nomination for chair has been made by Vice Chair Mao for board member Asuega.
Do we need to take a voice vote or?
Yeah, so I would need to first it would need to first be accepted. I would first need to close nominations,
Okay,
and then that nomination can be accepted or rejected by the person who was nominated, and then we would take the vote.
okay, thank you.
So, uh,
With gratitude, I'd like to accept the nomination.
okay, thank you. So the nomination has been accepted by Board Member Asuega. At this time, I will close the nominations and turn to our neighborhood assistants to take the roll call vote.
Hello? Okay. When I call your name, please say Renell. Okay? For being being the chair of the board. Okay? Renell? Yeah, we still have to call the person who's being elected. Yeah. Okay. Randolph?
Renell,
Ige? Okay. Juanita?
Right now,
Okay. Beverly?
Right now,
Okay. Darlene? Okay. Earl? Okay. And Colin?
Right now.
Okay.
And our newest board member.
Oh, and sorry. And Kaleo? Okay. That's 9 votes, so it is adopted. She is now the new chair of Palolo.
congratulations.
Oh.
Recess, please.
We don't need to do the oath of office. You're...
Oh. Oh. Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, you should finish.
Yeah.
I'd like to call the meeting back to order. At this time, I want to thank you, everyone, for the nomination and the votes. At this time, I also like Colin Peros to complete the meeting for today.
That's okay. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the election of our vice chair. Any discussion?
I nominate.
I have a question, point of order. Would it be possible to, if there are no contested seats, to move that a unanimous ballot be cast for the remaining positions? I'm just asking if is that out of order, Colin?
I'll defer to the neighborhood assistant to stop us, but let's do that. So we will accept nominations for the position of vice chair, secretary, treasurer, and sergeant at arms. So I will accept one motion to nominate a board member for each of those 4 officer positions. And then without further discussion, we can, those nominees can accept, we'll close, and then take the roll call vote. So if no discussion, any motion?
I nominate Matt Mall for vice chair.
Second. Darlene seconds.
Okay. Seeing no other nominations, I will close that nomination for vice chair. Moving on to secretary.
Chair Peros, I'd like to nominate Darlene Nakayama for secretary.
I second.
Okay, thank you. The motion for board member Nakayama for secretary has been moved and seconded. Moving on to treasurer.
Chair Peros, I'd like to nominate Randy Hack for treasurer.
Yep. Can we like pause for a moment because I'm still trying to write it down.
Oh, no, it's okay. So that's
So vice chair, who's for vice chair?
Mao.
Beverly Mao. Okay. And who moved? Or motion?
I
It
move.
was moved by
Nominate
Shiraki,
Shiraki.
seconded by Nakayama. And then the secretary position was moved by Shiraki for Nakayama and seconded by
I think it was
Mao.
moved by Beverly Mao. and seconded
Oh, same thing.
Yeah, I
Beverly
think
Mao.
I moved it. Did I move it?
Okay.
And I think you seconded, right? I'm not sure.
Okay, so for secretary, it's Nakayama, moved by Mao, seconded Shiraki.
And I just made a
So
motion to
secretary
nominate Hack.
Nominated So the secretary position was Shiraki, right? Is that correct?
No, the nominee is Nakayama.
Oh, Nakayama.
Darlene
Yeah, seconded by
Nakayama.
Shiraki.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
Okay, and then Vice Chair Mao,
Just nominated
Randy Hack.
Yeah.
Randy Hack for treasurer.
seconded by
Dallas seconded.
I second.
Okay.
Thank you, Board Member Ige. Okay. And then Sergeant at Arms.
Chair Peros, I'd like to nominate Earl Shiraki for sergeant at arms.
Thank you. Moved by Board Member Mao.
I second it.
Oh,
Thank you, Board Member Hack. Seconded by Board Member Hack. Okay, so I'm setting a bad example because I'm referring to Vice Chair Mao as her previous role, but no one refer to me as chair anymore. Your chair is Chair Asuega. So all
board member.
nominations. Yeah, exactly. Presiding
Chair
presiding
Pro Tem.
officer. Yeah. Okay, so the nomination. I don't know. I close the nominations for those officer positions, and I will turn to the neighborhood assistant to take the roll call vote for each of.
So for Vice Chair Mao, when I say your name, please say Mao. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. Renell.
Mao.
Randolph.
Mao,
Ige. Juanita. Beverly.
Mao.
Okay. Darlene. Earl.
Mao.
And Colin.
Mao,
Okay.
and our newest board member.
Oh, and Kaleo, sorry. I forgot. Okay. Okay, for the secretary position.
Congratulations.
Oh.
Thank
it was
you.
adopted.
Appreciate everyone's support. Thank you.
Okay, for secretary, Nakayama, please say her name. When I call your name, okay? Renell,
Nakayama.
Randolph,
Nakayama,
Dallas, Juanita, Beverly,
Nakayama.
Darlene,
Nakayama.
Earl, Derek, Colin, and Kaleo. Okay. She is now secretary.
Congratulations.
Okay. For
Congratulations.
Sergeant of Arms, Earl. When I say your name, please say his name, of course. Renell, Randolph?
Shiraki,
Okay. Dallas? Okay. Juanita? Okay. Beverly?
Shiraki.
Okay. Darlene?
Shiraki.
Okay. Earl? Okay. And Colin? And Kaleo? Okay. Sergeant of Arms is now Earl. Okay. Now for treasurer. Please say the word. Please say Randolph when I call your name. Okay. Renell?
Randolph.
Randolph?
Randolph,
Dallas? Juanita? Okay. Beverly?
Randall.
Okay. Darlene?
Randolph.
Earl? And Kaleo. Okay. Randolph is the treasurer for Palolo.
Okay, congratulations,
you.
everyone.
thank you.
Congratulations to our newest officers. So we went through really quickly. So at this time, if any of the newly elected officers would like to speak to their board, now is your chance.
Chair Peros, I'd like to thank everyone for their confidence and support in electing me as the vice chair. And at the same time, I'd like to give a shout out to our prior chair now, I have to say, Colin Peros. I have found him to be a very excellent leader. And because of his career and position in our community, he has kept us abreast of budget updates and has assisted our board in writing many resolutions. So let's give him a big shout and a big applause for all of his hard work. Thank you, Colin.
Thank you, Vice Chair Mao.
You're welcome.
There's something about, we sure gonna miss Colin, you know. He did a good
Definitely.
job and everything,
Yes.
but he got some new ideas, so, but Colin, we all love you, okay?
Yes.
Thank you, Board Member Shiraki. That was very kind. I will restate that this is an opportunity for you to share your gratitude for the board and not me. But you are in great hands with Chair Oswega. And as I said previously, Vice Chair Mao, we would not be here without your leadership as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other board members wishing to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the next agenda item. So meeting determination, meeting date, time, location, and format.
So my understanding is that we meet on the second Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. at the Palolo Elementary School. And format is, Colin, could you explain what format is? Is it
That's
it's
a
a 2-hour
hybrid.
meeting, basically, right?
Yeah, so the options would be virtual, in-person, or hybrid.
Got
We
it.
are currently in a hybrid format.
And let's see, I would suggest the hybrid continue for those of us who are infirm.
Thank you, Board Member Hack.
I
Any other
second the
discussion?
motion.
It's not, is that a motion? Did I do a motion or was it a discussion?
I think you did a motion. Did you do a motion?
Okay, so does that seem, do you want me to put it in motion format? So I move that the meeting date is the second Wednesday of the month the meeting is being held. The time is 7 p.m. The location is Palolo Elementary School cafeteria, and the format to be hybrid.
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you. The motion has been made by Board Member Hack and seconded by Vice Chair Mao. Any objections or no votes to the motion?
No objection.
Okay, seeing none, the motion is adopted. Thank you. So moving on, determination of recess schedule up to 3 per year. So I
See,
think this
put a
past
note-
year we had August.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I have here, January, June, and September. Is that correct, you guys?
That's what I have. January, June, and so September, January, and June.
Second.
Is that okay?
Okay. Yep, discussion. Okay, we need a motion.
I hereby move that the recess, there be 3 recess months, that September, January, and June, in that order.
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you. The motion has been moved and seconded. Any objections? Seeing none, the motion is adopted. Okay, moving on to the adoption of oral testimony rules. So I believe currently we have 3 minutes, including question and answer. Any discussion before a motion is made?
So may I suggest a couple of things? We have 3 minutes for oral testimony by individuals, et cetera, on issues, and 10 minutes for presentations, including questions and answers. Is that correct, Colin?
Thank you, Board Member Hack. That sounds right to me, but I'll let our neighborhood assistant correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's right. I think there was some language about disclosure, discretion of the chair,
Okay, right.
presentations
Okay,
and oral testimony that goes beyond. So
Either both of them to be limited at the discretion of the chair. I mean, if you have a huge crowd as I did, I had to cut it down to a minute, you know. I mean, and so let me restate that. So testimony, oral testimony is 3 minutes, presentations 10 minutes, including questions and answers at the discretion of the chair.
I
Is that
second the motion.
thank you. Motion has been moved and seconded. Seeing no objections, the motion is adopted. Okay, thank you, everyone. So we will move on to agenda item number 6, the monthly reports from our elected officials. I do not think we have a representative from Congressman Case's office, so we will move directly into the updates from Councilmember Say. Hua, are you still online?
Yes, I am. Let me just open
Hi.
my video really quick. So sorry. All right.
It's okay.
I don't know if you guys can see me. You guys can probably see my background. Sorry about that. Oh, hold on. There. Okay. Hi, everyone. Aloha.
Hello.
How's everybody going tonight? So far, so good. Nice and smooth. Okay, so this month's newsletter is in the chat for Councilmember Say's office. We also have a couple of updates in regards to let me check. And I also sent this prior to chair and vice chair that the Palolo park lights in regard, and that's probably the biggest information that everybody wants right now. So Bill 13 fiscal year 2025 was passed through city budget, and it was signed on June 21, 2024. And it included a section titled Renovate Recreation Facilities under the Department of Parks and Recreation, where the installation of the Palolo park lights are included. The planning, design, and oh, shucks, I missed my, sorry. Where did my page go? Sorry, sorry guys.
No worries, Hua.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. So right now, okay, I got it. Right now, currently the monies have gone to, got dispersed to the Department of Parks and Recreation, and it's at the Department of Design and Construction. So right now, what they're doing is with the budget that has the parks lighting, there are some other projects in that product in that in the monies. So it's a capital improvement project. And what they do is that they actually assign the planners in order for them and see how much money it's going to take in order for it to be done. And as of right now, the Department of Design and Construction, currently that's the most updated information that we have at the moment. I can try and attempt to see if maybe the Department of Design and Construction could possibly give me an update by next month and just see where it's at the moment. So that was a big announcement. There was some things that were going on in the Polo community. We're still working on the Department of Planning, Facility Maintenance is working on overgrowth of albizia on Narcissus Street. That's still in the queue to be maintained. Unfortunately, because of all the projects that have been in the queue with the rains that have happened before summer, there's quite a long queue, but I'm trying to get some information from the Department of Facility Maintenance to see when they're actually going to plan on clearing that out. Also, we were talking with Palolo Housing to see if we can set up a big cleanup during October, the month of October, but we haven't definitely got the dates down yet for a big cleanup during that. We had a constituent talk about expanding recycling capabilities, if there could be some recycling in the parks, like other recycling receptacles to collect that. There was a situation with people actually spray painting the curb red just so that they could actually have more space. So right now, that's actually a Department of Planning and Permitting situation where the inspector has to come out and they have to see if who's doing it, and they can issue a notice of violation. Because I know that it's affecting parking on 9th Avenue and especially 10th Avenue because it's such a big thing that's going on. I had some photos from some constituents, and you can obviously see that that's not where they're supposed to be parking. So yeah, those kinds of things, Department of Planning and Permitting is going to have to investigate, and they're going to issue the notice of violation or NOVs. Other than that, there was a situation where I guess there was many close calls between Apostolic Faith Church, corner of Palolo and Ka'au. So we're gonna do a traffic study and see what kind of solutions we can have in that area. Just so you guys know, the traffic study can take a little bit, but we're gonna try and see what the queue is again in the Department of Transportation. The other thing, okay, so we do have, right now we're currently working, when it comes to Kuahea Place, I know that that's a big concern in the Palolo Valley community. Kuahea Place right now, there is, the parties that are involved is Department of Design and Construction, our Corp Council, and also the residents of that street or of that place. So we're trying to work out something with the residents to see what can be done to take care of that road, that street, because it's so steep, and it's been kind of a nightmare at the moment. So we're working closely with those departments in order to find out what kind of solutions we can come up with shortly. I'm working with those departments very closely, and I've been talking to them all week. So we've been trying to see if there's any kind of updates I can get to. So as soon as I get those updates, I'll let the community know, I'll let the board know, and also the people that are on that area, that's in that area. So if you guys have any questions, please, I'm open for questions right now. Mahalo.
Thank you, Pua. Questions from board members?
I have a question. Aloha, Pua. This is board member Juanita.
Aloha.
Aloha. And I had a question about the capital improvement projects. So are we saying that things are going to collaborate in one grouping, like we're saying the lights, and then there was something else that we were going to work on? So all of those work consecutively, or are we going to take them and apply them one at a time in an order?
Great question. So as of right now, capital improvement projects is kind of in a lump sum, especially when it comes to the Department of Planning and Permitting. I mean, Department of Design and Construction, and also when it comes to parks. So parks right now that we had budgeted for was the gym, the ceiling, and then also we added the lights in this budget. So right now the Department of Design and Construction is trying to assess where the monies can go to what project. They're trying to find out what the cost is going to be by, finding out what kind of contractors they need and so on. And so they have to find out if what's going to be feasible at that time. So that's the only kind of update I have at the moment, but I'll keep you guys informed for sure.
So there's no estimations at this point.
At this point, because it was just signed in June for budget, it just got approved in budget. It's only been a little bit over a month. So the process of it, from the time it was signed all the way to now, the Department of Design and Construction having the monies, there was a process of having to financially execute it to to CIP. So, yeah.
And their timing will be coordinated with cost, or is it going to be coordinated based on the contractors in the order everybody's coming in? I just want to know some of the urgency we have on some of the things.
Correct.
Aloha.
If there is any kind of urgencies or priorities that come first, they're looking at all the projects all at one time, especially because it is in the Department of Parks and Recreation. So anything that's in the Parks Department that needs repairing, of course, things that have been that has been on hold for a while, it could take priority. But as of right now, it is in that CIP
Group.
project. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a group. Just safety is all I'm trying to ask if that can be a priority too.
Right. Okay. I will take that back.
Main priority, safety.
Okay. Thank you.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Thank you, Board Member Kawamoto. Board Member Hack?
Yes, I would you let the board know if further advocacy is needed to get this project implemented?
Absolutely. As soon as we find out what the project priority is, if there's any kind of extra intent or testifying that needs to be done, or any kind of extra projects that need to be done for this project for it to go through, by all means, I will definitely keep you guys updated for sure.
Thank you, Board Member Hack and Pua. Any questions from the community? Okay, so I just want to take this time to kind of empower the board, because to Board Member Hack's and Kawamoto's suggestions, the appropriation was a $22 million appropriation lump sum for a number of projects that includes the outdoor court lighting. So legally, there is nothing preventing the Department of Parks and Recreation from spending all 22 million in Palolo. So if we can showcase and demonstrate a need and that sense of urgency, then we can consume as many of the funds as possible. That's not going to happen, but we can make sure that we get what we need. So to Board Member Hack's point, I would make a lot of noise now while they are in the early phases of allocating the funds for the different projects. So we can talk more offline about what that advocacy could look like, but there's a big opportunity here. So, and just for the board members to know, we did request an update from Councilmember Say's office for the next month's meeting that will talk about some of that longer range planning and further action that can be taken following this step. And I really want to thank Councilmember Say's office, because they had to amend the budget bill to include this appropriation. So thank you. Any other questions from board members or the community? Thank you, Pua.
Sure. Anytime I can help. Yep. Mahalo. I'll stay
Okay,
for the
so
rest of the I'll stay for the rest of the meeting as well.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so we'll move on to the mayor's representative. We have, as always, Deputy Mamizuka. Thank you for being here in person.
Good evening, council, not council, but board chair, Peros, newly elected board chair,
Asuega.
to all of the members, thank you. My name is Warren Mamizuka. I am the Deputy Director for the Department of Facility Maintenance, and I'm here to give the mayor's report. First off, I'd like to start off with a newsletter. I would like to ask Anson if he could add the web link onto the chat. Some pretty good topics this month in the newsletter. FestPack, FestPack was here in June. It ended. Huge event, yeah. A lot of our, Polynesian cousins was in Hawaii. Great delegation. I was there to see the Rarotonga Sister City signing. That was awesome. That was part of FestPack. Another exciting thing that just happened was the Navy signing over 400 acres in Kalailoa to the city and county of Honolulu. So it's very early. There's going to be a lot of discussions on how we're going to use that 400 acres. So, be excited for that. The city has opened some homeless shelters in the Ivale area. Which is great because, we'll be able to take some of the homeless that if they have medical issues, there'll be a triage, there'll be doctors, nurses treating them. And I think there's like 60 beds to house the homeless, to get them back on to good health and hopefully back out into the community and into the workforce. So, this is the first of many. Yeah. So something that we're very excited about. Yeah. Another topic, at the Blaisdell, the parking structure. So that entire second floor level will, they're going to start the installation of PV panels and also a Tesla battery room. So I think it's generating like 2.3 megawatts. So that's quite a bit, yeah. So also we just celebrated the first year of Skyline, the road transit. So if you haven't rode the rail, I mean, it's a great ride. Yeah, 20-minute ride from Aloha Stadium, Halava Station, all the way to East Kapolei. Yeah, 20 minutes. So that's great. Moving on. So responses to the May neighborhood board meeting. There were two issues. The first one is the monster home at 2930 Date Street. The question was, can an update be provided on the status of this property? Member Shiraki raised a concern about this property being used as a monster home. Any information about pending permits and or violations would be useful to inform the community. And here's the response. The monster homes ordinance only apply to residentially zoned districts. This property is located in the apartment zone district, A2 medium density apartment district, which allows for larger multi-family structures. The property has a 6,000 square foot lot, which allows a maximum density floor area ratio up to 5,640 square feet. According to the building permit plans, the total square foot of this home is 5,626.65 square feet.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
All right, number two. Yeah, hang on. Number two, left turn from Wailai Avenue onto Palolo Avenue. Can the lines indicating the lane to make a left turn from Wailai onto Palolo Avenue be made wider. There are near collisions for people driving down Palolo Avenue and people turning from Wailai Avenue. And so the response from the Department of Transportation Services, DTS, will be conducting an investigation which may require research, site inspections, intersection observations, and analysis of the area's traffic collision history, and will apprise the board of their findings by November 2024. So that's all I have. At this time, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Deputy Mamizuka. Questions from board members? Board Member Shiraki.
Warren, talking about the Wailai to Palolo, you just talked about, this has been going for almost a year and a half already. The reason they said they make it one study because I made a study already, which I hardly go around Palolo. When I stay outside the middle lane, when I make the left turn into Wailai, the car that it just hit the line. It's collision because when you go down, it's a fast cut turn, you know, to Wailai. Unless you can take somebody out of the lane. I can't understand them guys not can see that. The reason why I told them guys I wanted to go down there and show them guys, you know, what you gotta do is because I experienced going down and that guy just on the line, I had to stop, man, you know what I mean, for make that turn. Unless I can take a quick turn and take the other lane. You know, I don't see how they cannot see that, you know. You just gotta make the line on wider, so they're far away from the guy coming down from Palolo, you know. And then, you know, you just gotta make a wider turn and just go. Well, I understand your concern, but I'm not a traffic engineer. So I'm going to leave it with the Department of Transportation and their expertise. And hopefully we can get their report to the board in November. I think this was already made over 2 years when they said that I was going to be up there and show them guys, you know, but never they never did call me, you know, on the stuff. Okay. And so you know about that, good. But the other thing I told you about Wailai, we get a lot of bumps on the road, somebody working, it's on 21st and it's on Wailai Avenue. You know, I was telling you, right in that area, you get a lot of bump and holes. You all went into one of the holes, you know what I mean? So you can check on, let them know about that. We can check on that. That will also be forwarded to the Department of Transportation Services. But as we spoke earlier, I believe that portion is under the jurisdiction of the State Department of Transportation. Yeah, but we can get back to you on that. Yeah, and you can let them know so they can do, you know. Yes, fix this up as soon as possible. We can work with the State Department of Transportation. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
Excuse me, Earl. Can you tell me what's the street? Can you tell me?
Wailai and 21st Avenue. That's kind of near the Times Supermarket with Kahala.
Thank you, Board Member Shiraki. Member Kawamoto, did you have a question?
I do. You know, on that 2930, is that 8th Avenue or 8th Street issue about Monster Home? That it's actually not residential zone, but it's apartment zone. When did was it always apartment zoned or was it converted?
Well, that's a good question. I wish I could answer that, but you know, we can take this question to the Department of Planning and Permitting. And
I think that's really important. Yeah. Because if they went in for permits and at the same time applied for apartment zoning, and for whatever reason they got that, did it come before community as it should when we're talking about changes like this? So if we could get information on that, I think and look at that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you, Board Member Kawamoto. Any other questions from board members? Oh, Chair Oswego.
Aloha, Deputy Director Warren. I wanted to say awesome news and thank you for updating us on the 60 beds in Iwalei for the homeless shelter.
You're welcome.
I wanted to ask, as as a as someone that is coming to the shelter for help and need, you mentioned medical services. Is there anything that they would have to do to be eligible or apply or to do to receive those services?
I'm not sure.
Who would I
I mean, I think
follow?
I think that will be answered by like the HESD health and services division, Dr. Jim Ireland, and also the Department of Community Services, Anton Crocky, Director Anton Crocky. Yeah, I think I can take a poke at it. It's during the enforcements during SPO, Stored Property Ordinance, when our crews go out and they do some enforcements and sweeps or cleanups of downtown area. And if anyone is in need of medical, they'll take them to Evale and they accept, or sometimes it's just, I don't want to say force, but get people treated. We feel that if we can get people there and get them healthy, and get them into a program to in some other affordable housing, right? And get them into the workforce. We're actually, taking people off the streets and helping them, to be, I guess, taxpayers, in our community. So it's a beginning, it's the first one. Just a block away, we're looking at doing 100 beds, the same purpose, a triage, treating some of the homeless people and giving them a place to live and then trying to get them, into affordable housing and whatnot. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chair Oswego. Board Member Shiraki.
Orange, going back to that, the Monster House on Day Street, okay? 2 years ago, or probably 3 years ago, it did not have inspection for electrical too, that I was told about them. The guy just built the stuff there. So now they say now it's not a Monster House, it's a it's commercial and everything. But what about all the stuff that happened when they never had inspection and they continue building? So the thing about them I learned about is people get money, they leave them alone, and then after 5 years, they come with a solution, say something, that's not right. That's what it was before. Because they never, if you don't have you could open up all the wall, check all the wiring, Maybe they have plumbing inspection too or whatever, on plumbing. So, it's a lot of this stuff here, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now they say, okay, this is the house right across from the golf course now. This was when Councilwoman Kobayashi, knew about all everything.
Thank you, Board Member Shiraki. So maybe in addition to the history of zone changing, we can just look into
Plumbing
permit
and
applications.
electrical, yeah.
So we'll look into that, Board Member Shiraki. Thank you.
Yeah.
Board Member Kawamoto, you had another question.
Mahalo for giving us all this time. With regards to Kalailoa, the Navy signed it over to the county, but I read something that there's some concerns that signing over to the county may conflict with potentially things that are dealing with ceded lands, one, and then two, that it may conflict with where that community is looking at. Is that in relationship to the housing that's always been out there for the Hawaiian people? So has there been any discussion on any of that that's come forward? We're talking about like Department of Hawaiian Homelands land.
At this moment, it's still early. It's in the early stages. So, there are certain departments that'll be a working group, and we'll be discussing, the use of that, 400 acres. So at this time, I really can't comment because we haven't had that meeting yet. And maybe this is something I might be able to report next month, if, discussions get started and, it'll take, honestly. Yeah.
Mahalo for
You're
that.
welcome.
That's being really sharing.
Yes.
The other one I have is got to do with the shelters in Ivole. So does Ivole cover the area that's also, does it go all the way out towards where like Home Depot is, where they have a lot of the homeless near that, coming along the wharf area out that way? Near Oha, where
Yeah.
in that neighborhood, does that encompass that area also?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it encompasses anywhere where we do enforcements and there is medical need, right? And it will be provided, yeah. So it's just not in the Evil area. It's just that we have, two locations. The one has already been set up and we have another one that's being worked on, and so that's throughout town, even on the west side, or any place where we conduct enforcements and there's a need for medical attention.
And the reason why I'm going a little bit outside the circle, because I know we want to set precedents for as many areas as we can, even including Palolo one day, should it be.
Yes.
But I know that I have family and friends in that area who work in, say, near Oha. And when they've had incidents where when they catch a bus and they get dropped off, that sometimes there are those that have mental issues. And one of them approached one of our family members with a golf club, swinging at them. So I just wanted to understand better that we can help our community everywhere. That if mental illness is an issue, is that how are we handling that as far as the county is concerned?
Okay. Well, it is, that's a great question, right? I mean, but, when it comes to homelessness, majority, of our homeless people, they have mental issues. Some little bit, more than others. I mean, all I can say is if you see someone who's behaving in that manner, swinging something around, I would try and avoid, walk the other way, be in a group, call 911, and don't try to approach the person, but maybe use an alternate route and be with, a group of people, yeah, just for your own safety. Yeah. And don't approach them if they're in that state of mind, yeah.
Absolutely, they call the police.
Yeah.
But you have to start documenting things so
Mhm. Right.
that they get to their job, get off a city bus somewhere.
Yeah. We do weekly enforcements in the Evile area, School Street, every Monday, and when we're in that area doing enforcements, our crews collect about 11 to 13 tons, I mean, you see it all on the sidewalk, right? They get all these scaffolds and everything. So our crews go out there and they're clearing the sidewalks and, 13 tons of, someone's, property or trash, right? That's quite a bit, and sometimes we send the crews out a second day in the week, it all depends, the complaints that comes in, we're trying to be everywhere. It is difficult, we can clear a section and in an hour or two, they're right back. But our crews keep moving down, right? So it's hard to go back after you already did an enforcement. Yeah. But we're trying. Yeah. And we're not going to stop. Yeah. The goal is to continue. Yes.
Thank you, Board Member Kawamoto. Any other questions from board members?
Warren, what we gotta do is we gotta stop guys from the mailing coming on the homeless. Because they're local, like they say somewhere, you can find one place for them, and that kind. But all of the trouble, most I think is from the mailing, you gotta send them back, Because this is a place where they get 24-hour sunshine. So they all come down here, That's what you guys got to do. We got to get rid of, we cannot take care of everybody. You know what I mean? Each guy should take care of their own home, like I said. Thank you, Warren.
Yeah, you.
Thank you, Board Member Sharkey. I appreciate this robust and passionate discussion, and I think working with our elected officials, we can help solve these statewide issues. Any other questions from board members or community members for Deputy? Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so we will move on. We are very happy here to have the governor's representative, Kelly Edmondson.
Aloha and good evening. Kiele Amundsen, Communications Director with HAIMA, here to represent the Governor's Office. I know it's late. I just want to highlight a couple of things coming out of the Governor's Office. I do want to echo what the city and county just reported, that the state of Hawaii was also a huge sponsor in hosting FestPac last month. I just want to point out that it is the world's largest celebration of Indigenous Pacific Islanders. We had 25 nations across the Pacific, featured 2,200 delegates for 10 days of cultural exchange and celebration. So I think a plus for Hawaii's economy. The governor signed 253 bills into law today. Of those bills, 17 of them enhance crime prevention, public safety, and improve law enforcement. For more details on specific bills, you can read up and visit governor.hawaii.gov and click the tabs button. This one's exciting. There will be an announcement soon. There will be a state grant, that will award $5,000 to individuals, $1,000 to businesses to start a garden. I think it's a great initiative. It's one for people to start gardening, to address some of the food insecurities, and also get people to understand sustainability, especially during disasters or emergencies. The application process will be forthcoming and will be announced officially in the next couple weeks. I've left copies of the governor's Kealoho, which is his newsletter, or you can go ahead and get an electronic copy also at governor.hawaii.gov. That is all I have. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Kelly. Questions from board members? Board Member Shiraki.
Golly, you can tell the governor, all the state buildings, they gotta make fire alarm tests. Okay. Never hear about, you know what I'm talking about? All the state buildings all get fire alarm. You gotta make the test every month and make sure they test and they check the battery backup. Okay, I haven't hear people doesn't know that when a house burn, people comes first. And to let the people know, you get fire alarm, so they know. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean. Some people not forgetting. They're not saying nothing about fire alarm in Maui Fire too. The guy said, "Oh, because they think a tsunami, so they go run into the fire." That's silly. But nobody talking about that. Me, I talk about that because I will make an inspection. Say, I'm an electrical inspector 20 years ago, and these guys never care. You know what I mean? See, I thought it is. The
Thank
guy
you.
in charge of the building is mad with me that he threatened me. But nobody can threaten he threatened me and said, I see what I can do to him. But anyway, I went through the inspection, everything, and fire alarm, the battery backup never worked.
Thank you, Board Member Shiraki. Any other questions from board members?
Thank you so much, Kiele.
Questions from the community? Okay, thank you.
Mahalo. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to Representative Sayama. Thank you for joining us in person today.
Good evening, board, and just want to say congratulations to the new chair, Asuega. We look forward to working with you and your leadership for this coming year. Of course, to all the other, the role that you play for our community through this neighborhood board. Not a whole lot through my office. I think you saw on the front page today, the governor has finalized his veto list very generous 7 bills this year. But just want to let folks know also, I think, Earl, to your point, every month regarding the emergency sirens. I did do another check-in with Haima. Unfortunately, there has been real no updates. Same thing as we've heard from Haima before, an estimated timeline of next year for the completion. There is a RFP for a contract out right now, so they are working on it. And again, I will continue to keep the board posted on this capital improvement project. I did want to note that through a tour of UH Manoa that I've been informed of a great program called Nakapuna program. This program application begins tomorrow and July 26th, I believe. The program essentially is for kupuna, anyone over the age of 60. It allows kupuna to enroll in a UH Manoa school, UH class for free. So feel free to contact my office to get the details, but you could apply online. And again, applications go from tomorrow, 11th to the 26th. So there's a deadline for that. I do want to do, I guess, a PSA as well. It is an election year, so please, I'm sure everyone here is registered to vote, but if you do know folks who just turned 18, please encourage them to register to vote. They could do so very conveniently online, and of course, if you have any friends and family, please do so as well. Part of that civic duty. Other than that, I have been going door to door on Palolo Avenue and have taken note from the neighbors there about the speeding issue. There has been one residence that has recently been, I guess, involved in a car accident in which a car was speeding down Palolo Avenue out towards Waialae, spun out of control, crashed into the wall. So we are working with Councilmember Say's office and DTS to work on a riser and a traffic study. And I will keep the board notified of the progress of that riser. With that, I am for any questions. Oh, and one last thing, I do want to introduce a very special guest from my office. This is Kiana. She is my intern from Kalani High School. She's a rising sophomore. So I have been, like Kiana, I've been taking other high school interns from Kalani. Have been working out great. So hopefully you'll be able to see Kiana throughout the summer as she enters into her second year of high school. Now I'm open to questions.
Thank you, Representative Sayama. Questions from board members? Board Member Kawamoto?
Aloha, Representative. Mahalo for your time. You're doing a great job. But I have a concern, and maybe we can think about this as a potential solution. So we're concerned about the sirens, and everybody in this community should be concerned about those sirens should an emergency like Lahaina happens, especially back of the valley or where it can cut us off from getting any kind of access. So because of the technical things that you're mentioning as to the challenges of having them getting the funding and the timing and the organizing, is there anything that we can put out there, like some kind of solution of saying that, you know, if you're going to give money to something, can we at least ensure the community through an insurance of some kind or something that community can be protected? Because like Lahaina, a lot of those businesses and those homes, they didn't have enough funding for the coverage of what was due. And so you had to call in FEMA. The time that it's taken, I have family members out there and friends that suffered from all of that. And so some of the things that have come back from them that they said, if we could have had the county or state, you know, have some kinds of means of offering something now, because we don't have some kind of assurance or insurance funding, some kind of protection funding that we can put aside to make sure if anything like this happens, we have coverage or some kind of process that we can go to help the community ASAP. And that might then encourage government to say, you know what, if we're going to look at that and the cost of that and what it's going to mean to the people, maybe they'll move a little faster to get these sirens online. But we can't be left unprotected, is what I'm saying. So I don't know if that can help somehow, if that's even a thought. And maybe we go check out other states that are dealing with similar things, because there's been fires in California, major fires in Nevada, all throughout the state, and they must have other solutions when they can't get the infrastructure in. But there's some kind of funding that's put aside to make sure that neighborhoods like Palolo will at least have those monies available should it ever happen. Mahalo.
Thank you, Juanita. So I think to address your issue about coverage, I think that's financial, right? And I think to the state's credit, we took all the upfront costs from the Maui wildfires. Yes, FEMA has promised to reimburse us, but that's a reimbursement that's going to take, I'm going to be honest, years. So the state has fronted a lot of the costs to shelter those who were displaced by natural disasters, as well as to provide them with occupational transition and other mental health services and whatnot. We do have a $1.5 billion or so rainy day fund. So the state has access to capital to ensure that in an emergency response situation that the state can respond financially to provide the necessary resources to the affected communities. When it comes to, again, the emergency sirens, we're all very aware how important that is to have for our communities, to alert the communities of impending danger for evacuation. Again, it's in progress already. We have the money for it. They're contracting work for it. So at this moment, there's not a whole lot we could do. I've been calling them very regularly, so they're very familiar with my voice at this point. But yeah, I will definitely keep the board posted, and we will continue to make sure that the state does have ample supply of address any natural disasters that affect Palolo as well.
Thank you, Board Member Kawamoto.
Just
Member Shiraki.
can you elaborate the speeding on Palolo Avenue? What happened on? You say question to where?
So it's by the Welcome to Palolo sign area. There is a vehicle speeding down Palolo Avenue out of the valley. It was a strange situation in which the vehicle did lose control. It's spun into a wall.
What wall?
A residence wall. I don't have the exact address on me, but yeah, just a retaining wall.
No, I'm just trying to find out, going that fast hitting a wall. Did you go across Walla Avenue?
No. This was on Palolo Avenue so it was in the valley. It wasn't, no one was hurt. The damage has already been repaired, so it wasn't anything super major, but we've had enough incidents on Palolo relating to speeding that, it's something that we need to look at.
Okay, Jackson, keep up the good work, forget about fire alarm tests, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Shiraki. Any other questions from board members? Good. Online? Okay, questions from the community? Okay, thank you, Representative Sayama. Appreciate it. So you all saw Senator Ihara. Unfortunately, he had to leave, but he left me with an update. So earlier this summer, the Senate held a special session for the appointment of judges. Legislative business is more or less complete as the veto process is now over. So as always, he says, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact Senator Ihara's office. So at this time, I will let Chair Asuega gavel out and also share some words if there's any closing remarks that you would like to provide.
Thank you, everybody, for your time. And again, thank you so much, Colin Pearls, for your leadership and everything that you did for us. Adjourn.
Thank you.